we've all been there. You got yourself locked in, you got a good program to follow, you're incrementally adding weight on the bar, and then all of a sudden it can go weeks, even months, before you're seeing any kind of progress. In this video, I'll be going through with you my top tips for breaking through that plateau and start regaining your gains. So let's get to it. So first up is some standard methods for progression. I think you probably tried this, but I'm gonna mention them anyway. So the first thing you can do is increase reps with the same weight as you're using right now on a particular exercise. And if this fails, if the exercise allows for it, for example, a machine squat, machine press or something like that, you can sheet the weight up or have a buddy help you with the weight up and then do eccentrics once you've hit failure. Of course, don't do this on a barbell back squat or a deadlift or something like that. Then you might end up hurting yourself and then you have a long way back. What you also can try to do is to increase your weight and still use the same reps. I'm thinking this is what you try to do since you clicked on this video, but still I want to mention it in case you haven't tried. What you probably haven't tried is to do the same weight with the same amount of reps, but with stricter form. So try to control the eccentric better, try to pause once you're in the hole and then explode up. This might elicit new gains that you left on the table before. What you also can try to do is to increase the intensity of your workouts that you're doing and at the same time lower your volume. Because if you just increase the intensity with the same amount of volume, you just run the risk of going into overtraining territory, and we don't want to do that. Then you'll end up sick, injured, and just miserable. So don't do that. What you also can try to do is to switch exercises. Let's say, for example, you're stuck on the barbell bench press. Instead of just doing the same exercise over and over again, you can try to switch it out for something like a machine press, a Smith machine press, or a dumbbell press, and do that for a period of time instead. This will give your body a little bit of a different stimulus while still working the same muscle groups. Frequency is also a factor. So recent studies have shown that frequency doesn't matter that much in your training plan, but we're talking about switching things up here. So for example, if you're doing a push-pull leg split, stay at the same volume, same reps, same weight and sets, but instead of doing it in a push-pull legs manner, try using an upper-lower split instead, or a full body split, or a bro split. Just try a different split to distribute the volume in a different way from what you're doing right now. So you're giving your muscles another type of stimulus from what they're used to. Another thing you can try if all the previous methods failed is to do higher intensity but with the same volume that you're using now. So if you're not progressing on any of these methods, you're probably not tapping out your full recovery potential. Then you can try to increase the intensity on all your sets without messing around with your volume. I do recommend that you try this slowly to not hurt yourself or get injured or get sick. The last thing to try when it comes to just intensity techniques and volume is to increase your volume. You need somewhere around 4 and 40 sets to increase muscle size on a weekly basis. And to increase strength, you need at least 1 set. So volume is rarely the answer. It might be for you, but I highly recommend that you try the other methods first and try the volume method last. You could also be running out of recovery potential. So a deload week could be in place. Here, just cut back on to about 50% of your normal volume with the same intensity, or you can cut back on the intensity but with the same amount of volume, and then you really need to cut back on the intensity. So if you're near failure on a normal workout, I would say stop about 6 reps shy of failure on your deload week. You can also just take a whole week off and take a mental break from lifting altogether. If you do decide on a deload week, you'll probably come back stronger than you were before. I just want to go quick into why we hit plateaus. So this graph right here is a stress adaptation graph. So what happens when we're training, here's our baseline, and then we go to the gym, we train our muscles and work out, our performance will go down. So this is acute fatigue. After that, we enter a recovery phase. This is where we get stronger and our bodies repair. This is called super compensation, when we move our baseline higher than it was before. And then we go to gym again, we fatigue ourselves again, enter a recovery state. And then we do little jumps like this all the time. And I just want to remind you that this isn't linear. It may look linear on a graph, but in reality, we could be stuck at a phase for a long time before we can break through our plateau. So don't get discouraged if these methods don't work right away. You have to give yourself some time and you have to try out different things. If you're more interested in deloads and how they can help you perform better, check out my video on deloads in the description below. Like the video, subscribe to my channel and stay swole.